Hey guys, Paul here, the Impulsive Culinarian, and in this video, I want to talk to you about my soy-free Kung Pao chicken recipe. So Chinese cooking, allergen friendly, it's not about the gluten, it's not even about the dairy, it's about the soy. How do you avoid soy and make it taste incredible? Well, I think I've managed to pull it off in this recipe. There's one thing that you can always expect out of a good Kung Pao chicken is the fact that there's cashews or peanuts in there. So if you're allergic to nuts, then you can simply omit those and you'll still get an amazing taste experience from this. But the real hard part, the real tough component to omit is the soy. So I think I've managed to pull that off. There's one other important ingredient in this Sichuan authentic flavor, okay? It's the Sichuan Peppercorns. That's a huge, huge thing. If you can absolutely, find this at your bulk store or your specialty market, wherever you go, and find those little Sichuan Peppercorns. They're not as compact as those black peppercorns. They're kind of loose and cracked, the shells. I've tried adding this to the recipe just as they are, and I find it's a little bit crunchy, and it's not a pleasant experience on the palate. So I highly recommend that you get them finely ground, or you grind them yourself using, sort of like a spice grinder or a coffee grinder. All right, so let's get started. So keeping it soy-free, we're going to use Worcestershire sauce instead of soy sauce for our marinade. And trust me, it tastes delicious. 1 tablespoon of that, along with a tablespoon of white wine and a tablespoon of cornstarch. And of course, your 12 ounces of chicken thighs, which you're going to trim and cube into nice 3/4 inch chunks. Then you get yourself a nice non-reactive glass container with an airtight seal. Mix up those 3 ingredients of the marinade, using a fork to stir to make sure that everything is nice and combined and the cornstarch is dissolved. Get those chicken thighs into the glass container, cover it up with your marinade, mix it up really well so all the pieces are good and coated. Stick that in the fridge for 1 hour while you're making the rest of the dish. So start off with 1/3 of a cup of cashews and 1 leek, cut in half, rinsed really well, and then thinly sliced. Then you're going to get 1 inch of fresh ginger, peeled and finely chopped, 2 garlic cloves, peeled and thinly sliced. So the next important ingredient are these Sichuan peppercorns. You can see they're kind of cracked open a little bit. You can actually add them into the dish whole like this, but I recommend grinding them up. So finely ground, 1 tablespoon of Sichuan peppercorns, 1/2 cup of white wine, 1/4 cup of beef broth, and 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. Then you're going to get 2 tablespoons of golden cane sugar, 1 tablespoon of sriracha sauce for a little bit of heat, 1/2 tablespoon of kosher salt, 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch, which you're going to mix with a little bit of water for your slurry, and 2 or 3 green onions nicely chopped up. And then, if you want the powerhouse, some dried chilies as the optional ingredient. So I may have said it more than once, but I highly recommend investing in a good quality wok for this. It's the best way to cook. I've tried it in all kinds of different dishes, guys, and the best is when you do it right in the wok. So get that over high heat, add your vegetable oil in there just to get things started, swirl it around, and once you've got that beautiful high heat, you can notice the striations in the oil and the smoke. Get your chicken thighs in there and start stirring. That's where you're going to do the magic. You're going to see that because you're using a wok over high heat, nothing sticks. So once those are just cooked through, you want to make sure that they are cooked. That's when you want to transfer them over to a separate dish and set your chicken aside. So get your wok back over medium-high heat and start adding the cashews. Now these you want to toss them around for maybe around 30-40 seconds max. That's when you add in the leeks and your ginger, and you really got to start stirring fast here because things are happening over high heat. Add the garlic, 20-30 seconds, as well as the finely ground Sichuan peppercorns. That's going to make a beautiful flavor, and then you're going to have a hard time keeping things from sticking. So that's when the magic comes in, the white wine to the rescue, and then you start stirring around, and that's where you deglaze. And look at that beautiful steam coming up, and everything is just coming together. A little bit of sauce now. You're going to add the broth, all of the rest of the ingredients, your sriracha sauce. Now we can't forget the seasonings. You want to put in your salt and your sugar. And this is your opportunity. While you've got the sauce bubbling away here, you want to take that chance to deglaze the wok completely. Get all of that beautiful chicken flavor out. And you can see there's nothing left at the bottom of the pan. It's all contained in that beautiful, luxurious sauce. So now it's time for the cornstarch slurry just to thicken things up a little bit. Mix that around for around 30 seconds or so. And of course, you can't forget your cooked chicken with all of the reserved juices. Now you want to warm that through just to make sure that it's complete. Get yourself a serving dish, plate that up, make it look beautiful, add a little bit of garnish if you like, and voila, some soy-free Kung Pao chicken done the IC way. Hey, thanks for checking the video out, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. 3 great videos coming out every single week here on the IC YouTube channel. One based on international cuisine, setting the tone for the rest of the recipes coming out in that series, as well as one recipe based on allergen-friendly cooking, soy-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, and a 3rd video based on healthy recipes, because guys, we should all be living our best life possible. My name is Paul, the Impulsive Culinarian. I'll catch you in the next video.